Before this war's over, I'm going to kill you.
Why wait?
Soon.
The Patriot is a 2000 epic historical war film directed by Roland Emmerich that takes place during the Southern theater of the American Revolutionary War. Mel Gibson stars as Captain Benjamin Martin, an American colonist living in South Carolina in 1776. Martin is a veteran of the French and Indian War, as well as a widower with 7 children.
What does it say about the Continental Congress?
It says here they'll make a Declaration of Independence by July.
With the American Revolution in full swing, Martin is called to Charleston, back then called Charlestown, to vote in the South Carolina General Assembly on a levy to support the Continental Army.
And our rights are being threatened by a tyrant 3,000 miles away.
Would you tell me, please, Mr. Howard, why should I trade one tyrant 3,000 miles away for 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away?
Martin decides to abstain due to his fear of going to war with Great Britain. Despite Martin's apprehension, the vote passes, and his eldest son Gabriel, played by actor Heath Ledger, signs up to join the Continental Army.
Father, I thought you were a man of principle.
When you have a family of your own, perhaps you'll understand.
When I have a family of my own, I won't hide behind them.
Well, I'll see to it that he serves under me. Make him a clerk or quartermaster, something of that sort.
Good luck.
2 years pass, and by 1778, Charlestown falls to the British, and Gabriel returns home with dispatches. As Martin cares for both the wounded British and the wounded American soldiers, a cavalry of British dragoons, led by Colonel William Tavington, played by actor Jason Isaacs, arrives.
Take this one to Camden. Here's a spy. Hang him, put his body on display.
As they arrest Gabriel, planning on hanging him as a spy, his younger brother Thomas tries to free him. He is then shot and killed by Tavington, who then orders the British to burn Martin's home and execute all wounded Americans. After this egregious act of British brutality, Martin, along with his 2 young sons Nathan and Samuel, ambush the British convoy of soldiers transporting Gabriel.
Listen to me. I'll fire first. I want you two to start with the officers and work your way down.
Benjamin justifiably slaughters all but one of the soldiers, freeing his son. The lone survivor informs Colonel Tavington about the attack, and Benjamin Martin earns the moniker, the Ghost. After taking solace at the home of his late wife's sister Charlotte, played by actress Jolie Richardson, Gabriel decides to rejoin the Continental Army, and his father decides to accompany him. Under the orders of his friend Colonel Burwell, played by actor Chris Cooper, Martin organizes a militia to keep General Cornwallis at bay in the South until French naval reinforcements arrive to help the Americans win the war. He is joined by French officer Jean Valenoux, played by Checky Carrillo.
You sure this is the right place to recruit for a militia?
God save King George!
I think we came to the right place.
Using guerrilla warfare tactics, they attack British convoys and begin taking the fight to Cornwallis himself. Directed by Roland Emmerich and produced by Dean Devlin, both best known for their 1996 hit Independence Day, The Patriot was written by Robert Rodat, best known for writing the 1998 war epic Saving Private Ryan. He wrote 17 drafts of the script before one was accepted. He also read through letters and journals of colonists before writing the screenplay. Roland Emmerich and his team consulted with experts from the Smithsonian Institution to make sure that the set, the props, and the costumes were as accurate as possible. Benjamin Martin is a fictional composite character, inspired by Thomas Sumter, Daniel Morgan, Andrew Pickens, and Francis Marion. The character of Colonel William Tavington was inspired by the real-life redcoat Bannister Tarleton, known for aggressive tactics, hatred of the Patriots, and his own brutality.
I remember you from that farm, that stupid little boy. Did he die?
Tarleton pursued Francis Marion and his irregular guerrilla soldiers into the swamps of South Carolina, unable to catch them. And this movie is sort of a fictionalized version of that type of event. Some British critics said that the depiction of the villain Tavington was unfair, and that the real-life Tarleton wasn't brutal. That would seem to contradict the fact that Tarleton's brutality was a major cause for many patriots fighting in the southern colonies back during the war. But there were also American critics who claimed that the German director Roland Emmerich depicted British troops committing atrocities similar to the Germans during World War II, and that the director was trying to rehabilitate Nazis while making the British seem like evil monsters. I don't think that was the director's intention at all, and I don't think he was doing any such thing. And I think that Washington Post film critic might be a few pork chops short of a mixed grill. Filmed in late 1999 in South Carolina, actor Harrison Ford was asked to play the lead role of Benjamin Martin. Ford turned down the role because he thought that the script turned the entire Revolutionary War into one man's revenge melodrama. The role then went to American-born actor Mel Gibson. Gibson was paid $25 million to appear in this movie, and much like his 1995 hit film Braveheart, he portrays a character seeking to live in peace until revenge has to drive him to lead a cause against a national enemy. For the role of Colonel Tavington, Kevin Spacey was the first choice. However, after paying Mel Gibson $25 million, there wasn't enough money left in the budget to pay an actor as big as Kevin Spacey. The role went to British actor Jason Isaacs. For the role of the eldest son, Gabriel, actors Joshua Jackson, Elijah Wood, and Jake Gyllenhaal were all considered. They also considered actors Brad Renfro, Paul Walker, and Freddie Prinze Jr. Eventually, the choices were narrowed down to actors Heath Ledger and Ryan Phillippe. Eventually, Roland Emmerich chose Heath Ledger because he thought that he possessed exuberant youth. Actress Lisa Brenner portrays Gabriel's doomed young wife Anne in her feature film debut. She and producer Dean Devlin would meet on the set of this film, and they would marry on July 4th, 2003. Actress Jolie Richardson stated that she used the character of Scarlett O'Hara from the novel and film Gone with the Wind as inspiration for her role as Aunt Charlotte. When teaching Mel Gibson and Heath Ledger how to shoot a muzzle-loading rifle, technical advisor Mark Baker gave them the advice to aim small, miss small, meaning that if you aim at a man and you miss the man. But if you aim at a button, for instance, and miss, you still hit the man. Mel Gibson liked this advice so much that he incorporated it into the movie.
What did I tell you fellas about shooting?
Aim small, miss small.
Aim small, miss small.
The score for this movie was composed and conducted by John Williams, best known for the theme to films such as Jaws, Star Wars, Superman, Home Alone, Jurassic Park, and many, many more. Williams was nominated for an Academy Award for the score of this film. This movie was also nominated for Best Sound and Best Cinematography. The film opened on June 30th, 2000, and grossed a worldwide total of $215.3 million on a $110 million budget. While it was a hit at the box office, it had a lot of competition, including The Perfect Storm, Scary Movie, and X-Men, all which were in theaters during July of 2000. I actually went that month with my father and saw both Scary Movie and X-Men in theaters. Overall, I enjoy watching The Patriot from time to time. Mel Gibson is magnificent as always, and Jason Isaacs plays a really good, brutal son of a bitch that makes you hate him, and that's the sign of a good actor. Overall, if you're in the mood for a patriotic, heroic, epic film, I recommend The Patriot.